up a turret there. He's got a Wraith there as well. I'm not sure what happened to the Goliath. It may be nearby as well. Those Marines are there as well. So Baby has plenty of anti-air at the moment in that region. Well, he did. It looks like some of his forces have run around. So anyway, oh wow, wow! Flash actually dropped or skipped over an SCV or something over there. So Flash has set up a third base already in a hidden position. By the way, this is Great Barrier Reef, which is it's basically the same thing as El Nino. You have those bases around the outside. So that is a very protected expansion. All he needs is like one turret over there, and he's going to protect against Wraiths. Baby does not have any dropships yet, so it's going to be a very protected expansion. And Baby trying to move in here, trying to push in, and oh, Flash with his dual starports coming up with a few more Wraiths, picks off Baby's Wraith. But he's going to have to fall back a little bit. His bunker going down at the front. He's having to fall back his tank line. Now we're seeing a little bit of a standoff here. But oh, Flash, he dropped off those SCVs, and now he's picked up some other forces, and he's flying his dropship all the way around the map. It looks like Baby is also trying to set up his third base in the sort of top left area. But no, maybe he's just dropped an SCV there. Flash is going to try and get a hidden expansion in Baby's neck of the woods in the top left and try and mine a hidden expansion up there, and there's no reason for Baby to check there until he gets his own expansion up there, but he's probably going to expand to the top right first, so he's not going to know that's there. So wow, so this is working out really well. Flash now getting an engineering base, so he's finally going to be able to put up turrets. Which I thought he had an engineering bay before. Baby actually could have gone in and done some. Well, never mind. I was gonna say he could have done some Wraith harass, but Flash had too many Wraiths, so it wouldn't have worked exactly. Flash now with a few more Wraiths and 3 dropships now. 3 dropships now. What is going on here? What are those forces doing? They're like chilling next to those mineral lines. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. Maybe he just wanted to keep him away from the ridge. But oh, Flash with his dropships and his Wraiths are hunting for a location to break through there. But those Goliaths are patrolling back and forth in case anything flies overhead. Flash is not going to be able to get his drop off. Here he goes in. Oh, he's moved the Goliaths out of the way. He's moved the Goliaths out of the way. The Wraiths are going in. The dropships to follow. There's a single turret there, but he's probably going to be able to pick that off without too much difficulty. The Wraiths just flying directly over, but now, oh man, Valkyrie in play for Baby. Baby with the Valkyrie, but Flash's Wraiths were not bunched up, so he wasn't able to kill them all, but despite that, the Valkyrie with just too much firepower is able to overcome the Wraiths, especially with the turret underneath, but the drop goes off nonetheless, and now a cloaked Wraith coming in to kill the Valkyrie. A lot of back and forth play here, but Flash has now dropped tanks in the back of Baby's base. Baby having to put tanks in his own mineral line, behind his own mineral line to try and counteract this here. Baby's going to take the air battle with this Valkyrie. I think actually more Wraiths coming in are going to pick off the last of that. Wow, picks off the last of that Valkyrie. Valkyrie is dead. Flash now has control of the ground and the air behind Baby's base. Flash also has set up that hidden command center at the top left area, so Baby is in real big trouble now. He is in real trouble. He's going to have to take control of his own mineral line back. I don't know if Flash is shelling that mineral line currently. Yeah, okay, he's not showing that mineral line currently just because of the curvature of that mineral line, but still, he is definitely has a strong position there. Look at that, it's 2 CCs, you know, like a screen and a half away from each other for opposing each player. So Flash now has that set up. He's going to be able to start mining that base, and then he's really going to take control. Currently, they're both about even in economy. They both have 3 bases, but Flash is really going to be able to take control once he gets that 4th base up and running. He's running some dropships up that way. I don't think they've got SCVs though. This is probably a drop with some forces. He's going to try and drop on Baby's 3rd base and try and drop behind it. Baby has a few Wraiths. If he can go in and pick off those dropships before they can drop their forces out with the Wraiths, he's now going to spot that expansion, but no, he's just going to try and reinforce this base, or maybe he saw the, oh, and it's all tanks. All tanks. No Goliaths at all. He's got some turrets there. I'm not sure why he's running them up away from the turrets. No, that's why, because he had his own Wraiths coming in. He wants to siege up on that line. Baby saw this coming and set up his own tanks in his own mineral line to protect against this harassment. And he's got a Goliath there to protect against the Wraiths. So it looks like he is going to be able to hold that line after all. Baby just barely holding on to his lines at both sides, both on the left and the right. Barely setting up some tanks to hold off Flash's Flash's tanks, which are just, you know, just pixels away from being within range of shelling his supply lines. But Flash now, they would be sort of barely balanced on a knife edge of evenness if except Flash has that 4th base up. But now Baby setting up a hidden base in the bottom left as well to try and do that as well. This game is crazy. Oh man, game 1 between these two guys was absolutely insane, and this game is turning out to be no less crazy. This is turning out to be amazing. Baby now taking that base there. It's going to have a hard time getting SCVs there. But there's some stuff heading there on the minimap. I think it might be his own forces they're going to reinforce. Flash now coming in here and trying to, take control of sort of the base to the top right of his. Uh-oh, Baby. Get your SCVs back there. They're going to run all the way back home. Oh, man. Baby fails at Maynarding. He just... What is he doing? You can see on the minimap. Well, maybe you can't, but he just sent a bunch of SCVs to that new base at the left, and they just mined, and now they're heading all the way back to his main base to deliver those minerals. Or actually, I guess they're heading to that sort of top leftish base. Anyway, so... that's kind of fail, but he's going to get that base up and running before too long. Anyway, so Baby now has a little Air Force running around, trying to do what damage he can, trying to do what scouting he can. He's got a couple Wraiths and some Valkyries, and here they come in after the dropships! Oh man, he could kill so many dropships! No! He kills one dropship off. I don't think he may have killed some forces in that dropship, actually. I think those Goliaths dropped out of the other dropship. Now he comes in, he kills off a Wraith coming in here above, and now he's going to try and pick off those dropships. Flash is trying to reinforce this location that he's dropped behind Baby's base, but Baby's not having any of it. Picks off another dropship with his raids. A few forces do manage to get out, and one of the dropships escapes, but still, things not looking good for Baby. He's still kind of stuck there. He's now got that base up and running in the bottom left, so he's actually managed to even things up again economically, but Flash, always one step ahead of the game, or even more appropriately, always one base ahead of the game, is now taking a 5th base at the 3 o'clock position, and Baby just does not have the map control, the map advantage, the army advantage to really do anything about that. And whoa, that was kind of weird. It looked like the CC crushed the tanks, but they just got picked up at the same moment. Anyway, used to be able to do that. I think it's been fixed, but you used to be able to crush tanks with CCs, and you used to crush a lot of things with CCs. Anyway, there's a famous, there's a Pimpus play from very early on in StarCraft days before that was patched of, I think it was Boxer. His base was under attack by Karis, and he was lifting and landing his command center over and over again and crushing a handful of interceptors every single time. Anyway, but now Flash is moving in here. He's trying to take another base in the bottom left. Baby had set up a contingency against that and had set up some forces down there. Flash drops a few forces on that to try and counteract that, and then he's going to try and drop on Baby's bottom left base. Baby trying to pick off those, desperately trying to pick off those dropships with his own raids, not working, and so Flash lands his force here. This time he came with Goliaths. He came prepared, and he's going to force Baby to lift. So Flash essentially taking major control of the game in the last few seconds by taking 2 more bases and knocking out one of Baby's bases. I mean, now, I mean, that's just... And now let's look. I mean, look at the supply count. He's only a little ahead in supply, but this is really, really bad for Baby. He's got 1, 2, 3 mining bases now compared to 1, 2, 3. Well, 3 bases compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases for Flash, and that is just that's just bad. There's almost no coming back from that, and now Baby has barely managed to build any more forces, and Flash has managed to max himself out in the last several seconds since I mentioned that. So Flash is now about 20 or 30 supply ahead. They're almost even, but now that means that actually Flash coming in here doing a big drop on top of those tanks as well. Flash now with a group of Valkyries of his own, just in case Baby goes for some raids. I mean, Baby had several raids before, but Flash, oh my god, this is just so bad for Baby. This is because they can trade armies. Baby can play tactically since they're not really too much of an army size deficit. But if they trade armies, unless Baby gets a huge win, which is possible in TVT, but unless he gets a huge win and does massive damage to Flash's army and doesn't take any damage to his own, and then Flash is just going to be able to macro up his army twice as fast, literally twice as fast, with more than almost, yeah, I would even say more than twice his bases, because